everybody, welcome back to the Dodgers port for the midweek battle in a diminishing number of ships that we've yet to play that are below tier 5. This one, the tier 3 Japanese destroyer, the Walkie Talkie, or the Walkie Talkie as it's sometimes affectionately known. Now those of us who played this game from the get-go will remember these ships very fondly because there were only two lines of ships you could play, the Japanese and the Americans, and this one always used to put a smile on my face. And I'll show you why very quickly before we jump into this battle. One of the reasons this always put a smile on my face is two of the numbers. If we have a look at the screen here, the torpedo range is 7 kilometers, but my detectability range is 5.9 kilometers. So if I can stay between 6 and 7 kilometers, I'm gold. I can fire torpedoes all day and you never even see me. And this used to be something I adored doing with this ship against enemy battleships in the good old days. This battle doesn't showcase necessarily that, but it does showcase what a wonderfully versatile, torpedo-hungry ship this is, with its ridiculously fast 32-second reload on its 4 torpedoes. Enough waffling, let's jump into the battle, and I'll see you there. So here we are on the northeast passage in the tier 3 Japanese destroyer, the Walkie Talkie. Now the very first thing I noticed, apart from the fact that it's this map format that I don't like, is that the enemy team have 3 players in a division, which is what I just put in the chat for the rest of my colleagues, because we don't have anybody in our entire team in a division, and that puts us at a huge disadvantage. There are 3 people out there who are all going to be talking to each other, who are all going to be focusing their fire on people and really making our life miserable, especially in a triple cap game like this where they can all go for the same place and defend it and really cause us problems. So the message I put straight away in our chat was to alert everybody else, in case I hadn't seen it, that we've got a 3-man division out there. Let's see if we can get them as quickly as possible. The sooner we sink them, the easier and more even the battle becomes. But for me at the moment that becomes a moot point, because it turns out that all 3 of those people in the division are all at the north of the map. So at this stage my priority is simple: let's get rid of everyone in the south, and then we'll try and get up north to help them fight against the triple division. So it's got to be a little bit of a rush job. I can't play my normal style here of sitting a long way away and torpedoing people. If we're going to win this battle, we have one hope and one hope only. Those of us in the south have to finish our enemies off quickly and get north to deal with that division. Now the guns on the Walkie Talkie are not brilliant. As you can see, neither is my shooting. But its torpedoes, with its fast reload time and 7 kilometer range, are fantastic. Now look at that, that's great torpedoing work there from a friendly destroyer, and we immediately jump out to a very quick lead. And that's what we need to do down here in the south. We need to just push, 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 push. It's not really what this ship's designed for. A Russian cruiser, a Russian destroyer even, would have had a much better time of it. Now this is a tactic you're going to see me do a lot here, and I'll explain why. I'm firing 2 sets of torpedoes, one directly at the ship that I'm targeting, the other one deliberately firing them a little bit behind. The idea is if he sails in a straight line, the first set get him. If he does a hard turn, the second set get him. The only way he avoids them both is to do exactly what that guy did and do a medium turn, and then he gets between them. Fair enough, but it's still the right thing to do. We'll avoid these torpedoes. I'm aware I have a cruiser near me. He's not my priority at the moment because he does not have torpedoes. This guy does, so I really want to finish him off. And there you go, straight away, bam, torpedoes back. Now I could fire 2 sets, but I really want to see if those first set do the job first, because I don't want to waste my second set of torpedoes, because look what we've got off our port bow. Are they going to hit? Yes they are. Right. So now he's dead. We can fire the second set of torpedoes at the cruiser. Oh dear, that was rubbish sailing, wasn't it? There we go. 2 devastating strikes and a double strike to boot. That's the advantage there of not firing both sets of torps at the destroyer initially. I would have had none left for that cruiser. And I have to say, we're doing exactly what I hoped we'd do. We are absolutely caning them down south. At this stage, the three-man division is still a three-man division. They're all still alive up north and causing some chaos up there, but nowhere near as much as we're causing down here. And that's it. The south is now clean and clear. Now, I explained a minute ago about firing one set of torps in front and then one slightly behind it. It's something I use a lot on ships like this, depending on how far away they get to see my torpedoes. Now, on this ship, the Walkie Talkie, my torpedoes can be seen at 1.2 kilometers distance, and the torpedoes are travelling at 57 knots. And that's kind of a tough piece of maths to do, because you're looking at kilometers and knots. But let me save you the trouble. If you've got 1.2 kilometer range that you can be seeing your torpedoes at 57 knots, they get 40 seconds to see your torpedoes. Simple as that. Unless you're coming from behind an island, they get 40 seconds to avoid my torpedoes. And that's why I fire the first set, hoping that they'll see the first set, go hard over, and then, and I delayed the second set of torpedoes by about 5 seconds, just as they do a hard turn, blow me, there are the second set of torpedoes, and it might cause them enough confusion to allow for them to be hit by it. Now, I'm the only destroyer in this battle who has the privilege of firing outside of my view range. The three-man team that we're facing has two destroyers, but they're the German destroyer and Samson, and both of them are visible at a closer range than they can fire torpedoes. So I can ambush them, they can't ambush me. Deep joy. So C is now being capped, and the enemy triple team has lost its Samson. So we're now just up against the G101 and the Friant, the cruiser that they're in. But they're both very much alive and very much causing damage up north. So let's see now if we can get stuck in. We are well ahead on ships, and it looks like we're now planning. Enough people are heading into the cap zone B. If you can't tell from my voice, I love playing the Walkie Talkie. It is an absolute joy to play as a ship. Its guns are not brilliant, but those torpedoes with the fast reloads and the fact that you can fire them from 7 clicks out when you can't even be seen, oh, people really hate playing against ships like this. So we'll head towards B and see if we can cause a little bit more chaos in B. Just as an aside, as I said, anyone receiving my torpedoes gets 40 seconds to spot them and avoid them. Now the G101, I only get 35 seconds to avoid and spot his torpedoes if he fires them at me, but of course I've got the advantage that I can actually see him, if not his torpedoes, in plenty of time. So again, first things first, we fire 2 sets of torpedoes, one straight at him, one assuming he's going to turn. And we get him with one of the torpedoes. The disadvantage of that is you're never going to hit him with all 4. But look at that, I've only got another 8 seconds to go and I get another set of torpedoes back. So whilst I was never going to hit him with all 4 torpedoes, I was fairly sure I wasn't going to miss him with all 4 torpedoes. And that's enough to cause him grief. And that would be dead. So we've got 4 ships left. Now they've really come back into this fight. It's 4 against 5, but this is what I'm saying about a team who are in a division. Those 2 guys, I assume they're guys, they may well not be, are able to drag this back by focusing fire and knocking more and more of our ships down. Now imagine we'd got stuck down south and not been quite as aggressive, they'd have run rampant up here. So that was the idea behind saying to my colleagues in the team, you know, let's finish this off and let's dive up north and let's target those people in the division. So there's the Friant that I'm currently targeting. Unlikely this is going to work. I've fired 2 sets just thinking maybe he'll sail towards me because he can see me. Maybe he'll come my side of the island and try and cause me problems, and if he does, there are 2 sets of torpedoes heading his way. Unfortunately for me, he's not aggressive enough for my liking, and he decides to hide behind the island. Probably not the right strategy at this point. Now here is the G101, the German destroyer, and you will rarely see a destroyer sailing in a straight line like this for this long. This is a real rare treat. If there's one thing destroyers love doing, it's torpedoing other destroyers. Well, they do if they're me. So Let's have a look at him. I mean, look how far I'm having to launch these torps. And again, same thing. One set of torps at him and one quite a long way behind, assuming he's going to see my torpedoes and he's got 40 seconds to react to them, and hopefully that reaction will put him in target of the second set. But he sails on and on and on in a straight line. Oh my word. One hit him and that was enough. Come on folks, I know battleships are notorious for sailing in straight lines, but not destroyers, no need. And despite that, we're still only one ship up. But look what we've got left. We've got 3 destroyers left, and they've got 1 battleship. I'll take our team any day of the week here. 3 destroyers is just, oh my word, that's awful to be up against 3 when you've got none. We've got all the torpedoes, we've got all the speed, and we've got all the smoke. Hello, Mr. Friant. Yes, he's the last remaining member of the triple team. And you've got to ask why they've had such a poor battle. Well, maybe they just weren't communicating clearly enough. Maybe they weren't focusing fire. Maybe we've just destroyed them to death. Because I have to give a shout out to the other destroyers as well here, that they've done an absolutely sterling job. Oh, torpedoes. Quick assessment, I can outrun them. Am I right? Yes, I am. Okay. No panicking, no slamming the brakes on, no turning. That was a simple outrunning. Oh my gosh, he's on fumes, isn't he? Right, now they're down to 2, and the 3-man division is dead. Oh look, an island! Yay! It's definitely not a battle that I'm in if I'm in a destroyer without running into an island. It's kind of mandatory. And again, despite all of that, weirdly, we're still only the 1 ship up. So I'll throw some torpedoes at him, and then I'll look up and go, oh, why am I throwing torpedoes at him? One shell is more than enough. And this battle now pretty much done. I'm on almost full health. We've got the other destroyer in the cap zone. He's struggling for health. He probably wants to avoid taking too much damage from the battleship, but we should be good. Now what do we do at this point? There are about a million ways we can win the battle, but certainly the most interesting is to just hit the speed boost, go straight at him, and when we're close enough, just throw 4 torpedoes into the battleship. Even if he sinks me afterwards, still game over. There are 2 of them there shooting, although weirdly I'm the one with all the health. Surprising considering how aggressive I was in this battle that nobody really laid very many shells on me. It's a really nippy little destroyer, the Walkie Talkie. If you've never played the old Japanese destroyers, give them a go. They're unbelievably fun to play. Nice play there by this destroyer there. Managed to put, ooh, yep. Solarai has managed to put loads of torpedoes in and sink him. Really well played, Solarai, if you watch this video. That was very solid indeed. And there we go. The battle ends. 171,000 credits, thank you very much, and more ribbons than you can shake a very large ribbony stick at. I really hope you enjoyed that battle. It's made me realise I need to go back and play these Japanese destroyers a bit more again. Everything else seems to have overtaken them, and they're not the best ships, but they really are fun. That was Wednesday's battle, everybody. There will be more on Saturday and Sunday this week, maybe one on Friday, depending what happens. I really hope you enjoyed the battle, and if you did, jump into the old Japanese destroyers and give them a go, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.